Welcome to another project vlog, a small projects vlog, holiday edition. In this projects vlog, I hope to make a few small projects that are holiday related, and so I would like to make some Christmas stockings that are hung back there for my sister. I want to make a Christmas related gnome, and also the first thing to start us off is I'd like to make the Marie Clutch by Petite Knit, and this will be a sample knit for Tea Cozy Yarn Shop, and so Tea Cozy Yarn Shop gave me these two yarns to work it in. And this is Sandusgarn Baby Wool, and this is in the color 2752 Cafe Latte, and it is 175 meters for 50 grams, and it is 100% superwash merino wool. And this is Sandusgarn Palette, and this is in the color 2242, and it is called Gold Digger, which I love. And it is a cotton polyester. It's 55% cotton, 45% polyester, but I'm not sure if the sequins are counted as the 45% or not. So it is a cotton polyester blend, and it is so fun. I'm really excited to make the Marie Clutch. I'll be making the small size, and the small size isn't too big. It's only 17 centimeters across and around 11 centimeters tall, as well as maybe around 6 to 8 centimeters deep. And so it shouldn't take too long. All I have to do is knit it, and Emily of Tea Cozy Yarn Shop, she said that she has a lining coming and the zipper coming and everything, and she can sew it in. So I'll just be knitting the portion and blocking it, and it is a garter slip stitch type of detail on the body of the clutch, so I'm really excited to make it. So it's the next day, and I thought this would be a really great time to update you. I finished the double knitting of the bottom. So this will be the bottom, is the right side, and I just have to knit up this way. But because the double knitting is done on a US 1.5, 2.5 millimeter needle, it looked really busy with the sequins, like almost like you definitely couldn't see any of the stitches at all. And the sequins were kind of all going all over the place. And I thought that was a little too busy and wouldn't function well, especially in a clutch, because then anything you put in the clutch would get kind of caught. Even though there is a lining, you would see all the little sequins at the bottom and everything. So I just decided to do it plain. I asked Emily about it, and she said that I could do whatever I thought looked best. So this is plain. And then now I have moved on to the larger needles, which is a US 2.5, a 3 millimeter needle. And so I picked up all around the edges, and then I did the purl row. Now I'll start holding the sequin yarn with the yarn together, and I think that will work a lot better. I'm really happy with that decision. It was just too much like this. And also unraveling this yarn, there is no unraveling this yarn, so I just decided to cut it off like this. And another thing is that I've been watching a lot of Christmas movies while knitting at night especially, and yesterday I watched Champagne Problems, and I thought that was pretty good. So if you need any Christmas movie recommendation, it's on Netflix, and I thought that of all the Christmas movies, the Hallmark Christmas movies, you know what's gonna happen. It's very non-anxiety driven. It's a very obvious romantic plot, but I liked it, and so if you're interested, then I would recommend that one this season. It's a couple of hours later of working on this. I have around 4 centimeters, so I still have around 6 to 7 centimeters left to go, and it's looking so beautiful. Look at all the sequins popping up. I do try to make the sequins come on the right side. Of course, you still have sequins on the wrong side, but when I'm knitting it, I try, if I can, to put it on the right side. It's easier when I'm purling because I don't have to stick the larger sequins through the loops. And the sequins do come pretty regularly. It's pretty well spaced out. So there's a big one, a small one, a big one, a small one all throughout. And so I'm really happy with the progress. I think it's really beautiful. The stitch pattern underneath, you can barely see it, but it's also really nice. So even if you don't have sequin yarn, I think this is also just a really nice stitch pattern. It's very squishy, and so because it is a slip stitch garter stitch pattern, each row doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting one row of progress, but it is an 8-row repeat, and it's super easy to memorize what you have to do next. So I'm loving how it's coming along, and I'll just continue knitting on this today. Currently Saturday, and today we went, as you saw, take pictures with Santa. We went super early, it's still November, and we have another appointment booked in early December at Nordstrom Seattle, which is where we usually go. So I made an appointment for this one at Swanson's Nursery, and it was pretty nice. The Santa was very nice, very kind. I'll have pictures if I can. We couldn't take a family photo though, because they charge extra for it. Like if you have to either choose family photo or your kids, or pay twice or with a little discount and stuff. So I just decided to have the photos of the kids at Swanson's. Anyway, for the clutch, I made a mistake this morning. So I knit these two little double tabs, 2 tabs of double knitting, and then I realized you're actually supposed to knit it directly onto the clutch, which would make way more sense. And so I did that. And then I now have to pick up and do the double knitting for each of the zipper plackets. And then I think that completes the complete clutch, and it's also looking very beautiful. The sequins, anytime there was a portion on the outside where there weren't a lot of sequins, I would push some through, so it's looking a lot more sparse on this side compared to this side. And I think that this is a perfect holiday clutch. I have a lot of the palette left over. I have this much of the baby wool, but this should be way more than enough to get me through the entire thing, and I'm really excited to continue. I really hope I can finish this today and get this to Emily, if not tomorrow, Sunday, then on Monday at Maker's Night. I am now done knitting Marie Clutch by Petite Knit, and so all that's needed here is the lining to be sewn in, as well as the zipper, which I guess is half of the process, but the knitting portion is done. I have around 10 grams left of this yarn, which is the baby wool, and then for the sequin one, I think I have over half of it left, and so half of one ball left, and I was given 2 just in case. But I'm really happy with my decision not to put the sequins at the double knitting portion, just because with the zipper I don't think it would have worked as well, and also was just looking too busy, and the double knitting wouldn't have worked as well, just because the sequins are quite large for the size of the needle and everything that was used in this project. And I'm really excited. I think that it'll be a very nice festive pouch, and it's looking very cute. I thought that originally the small one would be very small, but it's looking quite a good size. I think that most things would fit in here. Definitely my phone would fit in here, and so it's a nice size. I would highly recommend this pattern. It was really fun to do. If you are a beginner knitter, I'm not sure if I would recommend doing this as your first project. I would highly recommend doing other things, like doing a cardigan with a double knit button band maybe before going on to this, just because there are multiple portions on here which require double knitting and everything, and it's in pieces, even though everything is as seamless as it could be. The videos also help, and I love the garter slip stitch patterning, which you can't really tell, but also the sequins make it so fun. So I'm really excited to give this to Emily today, and I am just so happy to be done another project, my first project in this small projects vlog, but of course my first holiday-ish project. So this is really fun, and I'm really excited to be completed with this. For my next project of this project vlog, I'm going to be making some Christmas stockings for my sister and her husband since they moved into their new place. And I am going to be making the Woodland Stocking Big Animal version by Allison Lutz. And I am going to be making this exact one, but in red, because my sister says she wants a red fox and her husband a green moose. I have all the yarn for it from last year, so that's what I'll be using. This is 100% acrylic yarn. It is Knit Picks Brava worsted, and it's just a worsted 100% acrylic yarn. The top of it is slightly different. So this is the chevron pattern that happens from the Big Animals version versus the first Woodland Stocking version. So it's slightly different. The motif will be exactly the same, and so that's what I did. I even bought this keychain or something similar to it for her, but I don't know if it's gonna come in time because today is November 23rd or something. It's a Monday, and it's Thanksgiving this week, so I'm starting on this quite late. Hopefully this will be done in a week, both stockings will. And it's Monday night right now. It's almost 10 p.m. but usually I'd be asleep. I want to get some progress on this. I just came back from knit night, didn't work on it at all at knit night, but we'll see. And so this is what I'm working on US 6 4mm needles on 12-inch circulars, and this is what I did last year. I really liked it, so I hope to continue. I catch my floats every 3 to 4 stitches so that the floats aren't too long, and I'm really excited to get started. Maddie and June left earlier, and then my daughter wanted to put on makeup and everything, so that's what happened. And my nephew is here along with Sam. I have finished my first stocking, so this will go to my sisters, and now I have to work on my second stocking. I've yet to weave in the ends as well as do the little loop, and that's my rice cooker, so I've yet to do that. It's currently around 5 p.m. so I think probably tomorrow I'll probably have a similar amount done by tomorrow morning. So I'm hoping that I could definitely have the second stocking done by tomorrow, just because I feel like in the holiday times, just time is so tight with all the things that I want to make. And so, especially with the kids being home from school. So I'm really excited that I was able to finish at least the knitting portion of this. I still have quite a bit of work to do, reinforcing the heel and everything. It's around 7:30 on Wednesday, and today we went to the grocery store. We got up at 5 a.m. because my younger daughter is going through a lot of boundary setting right now, as well as some sleep regression, and so that's just my life. But I have not been able, so all that to say, I have not been able to get as much done as I would think I would be able to on this, because this morning, great progress, and then as my sleep that went up and my, I feel like I'm functioning at 25% right now, brain capacity. I just completed both the stockings. It's around noon. I think it was definitely quicker to do the grafting, even though the grafting also took a while. I grafted with whatever yarn was already a part of the stockings, so it wasn't too bad. And you can tell where I grafted, especially on the green part here. I think it's less visible here on the white part compared to a stocking where there was no grafting. Sorry if you can hear some noise. My daughter's just right below me. And the toe I've completed, as well as the I-cord loops. And I'm really happy with how they came out, so I'll be gifting this to my sister on Sunday. I have now just changed and everything, gotten ready for the day finally, and I am going to start making the November gnome now. And so for that, I have my plain, this is the Plymouth Yarns, the Die For Me Happy Feet, as well as was Signature Yorkshire's 4-ply, Signature 4-ply in Rouge 1000. And so I will stripe these two for the hat to make it kind of more of like a candy cane style. And then for the body, I was thinking of what I wanted to do. I think I'm just going to go with this one solid color, since for the hat, I'm already striping the red and the white. And so we'll just do a noodles, keep it simple. It is now around 7:30, so the day's coming to a close. Our Thanksgiving is coming to a close, since November 27th was Thanksgiving, or is Thanksgiving this year in the States. So happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends or people who live in the States who celebrate. And this is how much I have on my gnome so far. I added a little I-cord, just a little bit of the top so that it curves a little bit, and a little bobble, as well as a little braided tie. And I love this color. This is the Hazelnuts Artisan Sock Base in the color Caterpillar. I'm not sure if I said, but look at how beautiful it is. It looks so good. I try to always hold my gnomes fingering held double on US 3.25 millimeter needles. Usually if I do only the Artisan Sock Base, I'll do a US 4 3.5 millimeter needle, because this is pretty plush. But this, because the top was done on 3.25, I'm doing also the bottom on 3.25 as well. And I love it. I'm so happy with how this is coming along. I hope to finish this probably tomorrow, and then get my final project for this small projects vlog done as well. And hopefully this vlog will be will go to you sometime early next week, depending on when my last project will be done. Good morning. It's now Friday morning, and I completed my noodles, so it's so cute. I love how this one turned out. The caterpillar colorway turned out really well. Of course, I stuffed it, put a little bit of weighted poly beads in here, and finished it with all of the parts, and I'm just so happy with how this one has turned out. I don't know that my December gnome will be just as Christmassy, because I don't know that it can beat this. I just love how this one turned out. If I could, I would make the same one exactly for December, but I don't have enough of the yarn, so of this green colorway, and so I won't, but it's so cute. And I'm kind of excited that I only have one more gnome to go to finish out my year of gnomes for this year. So that's done, and I'll put this to the side. And for my final project, I'll be making sailor slippers by Annie Sews, and she's the same designer that created peony vest that I made, and I think she only has 2 patterns. Of course, the super viral sailor slippers as well as peony vest, and I love making peony vests, so I'm really excited. I already bought the pattern. I'll be making the size 3 on the recommended needle size, which is a US 11 at 8mm needle, so it should go by pretty quickly, and I'll be holding these yarns double, so she uses drop snow, which is I think 50 meters for 50 grams. This is 100 meters for 50 grams, so it should come out to the exact same weight. And the yarn I'll be using is Dec Lopi. This is in the color 58 dark gray, and I want this to be the bottom of the slipper. And I'll also be using this, which is 1702 Milky Way, as well as 9414. I'm not sure exactly what this one's called. I couldn't find it, so it's probably a discontinued colorway, as well as 1417. And I think this one is called Frostbite. And so I will be putting these because I have 3 of these, but I only have 1 of these each, the green and the red. And so it'll be a Christmassy slipper. I'm not exactly sure how it will come out, but I think that it'll be very cute regardless. And I have 2 of these, so I might run out of yarn, but if I do, then I can always go back to Tea Cozy and get more yarn. And I'm just really excited to see how it will turn out. Good morning. It's the next day on Saturday, and this is how much I have on my sailor slipper. So I decided to do the tops first before adding in the sole. For this, you cast on the back here, you pick up stitches, do backward loops, cast on, do it, knit up here, and then you knit down here. I did 2 row stripes instead of the... 엄청 빨개. 아직 엄청 빨개. 엄청 반짝반짝거려 아직도. 맞았어. 위랑 위치랑 엄청 이쁘네. And then I decided to do the 2 row stripes just because I'm not playing with a lot of yarn and I wanted to weigh the yarn. The reason I wanted to do the tops first is also because I'm meeting Maddie and June later today. We're going to Tea Cozy Yarn Shop together, and if I had any extra yarn, I wanted to pass it off. I think June is also doing it in this color, and so I decided also then to do the I-cord edging first on the heel, and I think I'll have just enough yarn. I think 1 ball of this gives me the sole for size 3. I have 4 more rows to go and this is all I have left, so I'll definitely be able to weigh my yarn and gift it over after I'm done this. The knitting gods have looked down on me and I only have this much left of my ball, which is perfect. And this is what the slipper looks like. It's currently huge. I have to weave in my ends. I plan on felting them together. Of course, I don't want to run the wash cycle twice, and I'm also scared that they will felt in different sizes if I do it in 2 different washes. So I just finished knitting this, and my daughter has a play date and I think they're about to come, so I'm going to go and put this in the washer right now. I wanted to get it done before they came. It's looking very large, and it is very large. This is my hand and this is the slipper. I think that I'll just put it to the instructions as is in the pattern. I talked to Emily today and she said she just also ran it per the instructions around 40 degrees Celsius, and you put it in for an hour or 2 hour and a half to 2 hours, and then when you take it out, you just put it on your feet to shape it. So this is the left side, this is the right side. The right side is the one with the red I-cord, and there is a slight different shaping in terms of just how the toe is shaped, and the decreases are more rapid where your small toe is. So this is how it looks, and we'll see what it looks like afterwards. I am so excited.
엄마, 왜 입어야 이거?
I wanted to take a minute to talk about these slippers. First, I want to say that I'm knitting this as a part of TCYS Slip Along, which is Tea Cozy Yarn Shop Slip Along for the sailor slippers. And I am happy to be done knitting them as well as almost done felting them. So these slippers, yesterday after I finished knitting it, I put in the wash on the hot cycle as you've seen, and I put it then into, and then I took it out. It wasn't that felted, so I put it in the wash again for the hot cycle, and this took maybe 2-3 hours, and then I put it in the dryer because it still wasn't felted. And for my dryer, I have those wool balls, and I was kind of hoping it would agitate it, and it came out felted but not as felted as I wanted it to be. So I put it in the wash again with a couple of towels, then it felted more, and then I put it in the dryer again with the towels, and this is the result. So it is quite felted. The fabric, you don't see the stitch definition anymore. It's pretty felted. There's nothing that's showing through or anything, but I want to felt it a tiny bit more to see if it can shrink just a tiny bit more, just because the width of this is quite large, and that's something I knew going into it, but also the length of it is still slightly big. So when I put it on my feet, it won't come off, but I kind of feel my foot kind of slipping inside it. So I want to do it again and just see if it will help. I have some rags that I put in the sanitary cycle, so I'll just do it with that one last time. And then my friend Betsy from Betsy Brown Knits says that when she did hers with Let Lopey, at the very end, she just took a pair of scissors and just cut off these hairs that are kind of popping up that you can see. And so I will do the same thing here, and I think that then it will be really nice. The right slippers, it does have this weird toe thing, but I think that's just how I seamed it, and so that's my fault. And I am excited just to have these almost be done. And saying that, these were supposed to be the last item in the small projects vlog, but I think that I'm just going to extend it for one day because today is November 30th. And so tomorrow on December 1st, I'm going to make my December gnome, and I will post this video after I edit it and everything along with making the gnome and completing that gnome. So I am excited to have just a super festive small projects vlog up, but I also am excited to felt these just one last time. My laundry is now done. I think these came out perfectly sized. I just felted the slippers for the last time. I chose not to put it in the dryer because now they're quite stiff and they're quite felted, and I think that it fits my feet perfectly. I kind of want to give this to my younger sister though to see if she wants it. It is now December 1st, the next day. Yesterday, I gave the slippers to my younger sister and she absolutely loved them. So I'm not sure if I'll ever put the non-stick glue stuff on the bottom, but she says that she'll just wear it in the office, in her office, her work from home office. So I don't think she'll need it, but if she does need it, I could always fix that at a later date. I am now hanging out with my niece while my daughter naps upstairs because my sister's maternity leave ended, but I also have this, and this has all of my scrap yarn in it, my scrap fingering yarn in it, and wondering what colors I want to choose for my last gnome. All right, I think I have my yarn chosen. She refuses to be put down, so we'll just do it this way. She has a full head of hair. I tied it up, but she's 4 months old and she's so cute. But anyway, I'll show you the yarn that I've chosen. So for my last gnome, I wanted to make it extra plush. I chose all Hazelnuts yarn on their Artisan Soft base because I love their yarn so much. And so I'm not sure exactly what the combination will be, but I'm thinking of just striping the 3 greens together. And so from here, this is Herb, Darby, and Caterpillar. I'll be using these 2. This is Land of Sweets, and this one is Scarlet. And so I'm thinking I want to do the hat in this Land of Sweets color with Scarlet running up it. So it's a vertical stripe on the hat. And then I'll be making Noodles, the smallest gnome, of course, because I've been loving making noodles. And then have this be horizontal stripes on the body. And I think that'll be really cute. It's her first time spending all day with me. And so I think she's just getting used to the lay of the land, and we will see how things go. I have now completed my December gnome. I have to cut this end a little better, but this is such a cute gnome. I think that it came out really well. The little red here looks like the Christmas wrapping, and so I just divided the number of stitches by 4 and then did the color work basically and just carried it up, and then I tied little 2-stitch eye cords and I made a little knot, so it looks very cute. The body is just 2-row repeats, and I actually used all of this light green color. The rest of the colors, I have basically this much left, so it was perfect. It just ended everything on such a high note into 2025. But I'm just so happy to be done making the gnomes. I will not be making any more gnomes for the rest of this year, and probably into next year I won't make gnomes as often as I did this year. And so that wraps up all of the items I wanted to put into this small projects vlog. We went through quite a few festive makes, and I'm so happy with how all of them turned out. The Marie clutch as a sample knit, I loved. So beautiful, so sparkly. The Christmas stockings, my younger sister and her husband are so happy about. They've already hung it on their mantle. And then we have the sailor slippers, which my younger sister also loves, and they fit her feet perfectly, she says, as well as the 2 gnomes. And so just really, really happy. My younger sister says she doesn't need this gnome, so this will go to another home with one of my friends, and we will see what happens. The baby Goodwill is ending, so I'll make this really quick, but I thank you so much for watching. I hope your holiday making season is going really well and that you're getting all the projects you want to do done and everything. Thank you again, and if you can, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.